Mike Moore Media.
In our studios, Rockingham County Attorney Seth Woodall, fresh from the campaign trail. Hey, Seth, welcome back.
Hey, Mike, great to be here.
It's always good to have you in the studio, but we're going to have a kind of a recap of some things. Matt Warman, your campaign manager, is here with us. Hey, Matt.
Good morning, Mike. How are you?
Good. 6 months on the campaign trail.
6 months. We started just right around 6 months before the primary election, which was March the 5th. And we've been a lot of places, seen a lot of great people, had a great time. We came up a little bit short on the primary election. We had a very watered-down field with 11 individuals in the race. We did a good job with a very short lead time. I think we were in the campaign less time than anybody else, and did a phenomenal job, but fell short. And so the lieutenant governor candidates moving on were in the top two places. We'll go to a runoff vote May 14th. That's going to be Hal Weatherman and Jim O'Neill. And so we're certainly wishing Hal Weatherman success in that race.
Okay. Well, and congratulations on your good numbers that you had. Disappointed with you, but you're moving forward.
We are, Mike. You know, I guess the most important thing that I can say is we're not done yet. North Carolina's not seen the last of us from a conservative political stance, but we're back to business at the law office.
Okay, so business continues at your offices in Eden and Madison.
That's right, and they have throughout. You know, that's something that would kind of set us apart on the campaign trail is we continue to work full time and traveled and made it around the state. And like I said a minute ago, we had a great time. It was really a great learning experience. And so we're just going to take the education that we've received over the last 6 months and move forward.
Wow, what an opportunity, though. That 6 months, you packed a lot into that. Matt, let's get to you and your take on everything.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of emotions when you work hard for anything. I mean, obviously we're disappointed that we fell a little bit short. But like Seth had said, I mean, we came in this with no political experience, just the desire to really go out and make a difference. And in 6 months, we really got the name out there. We got a lot of support from a lot of people. And I think both Seth and I will say this, but we're eternally grateful for the people that did support us, the voters out there, the people that went out there and listened to what we had to say and our ideas for North Carolina.
Yeah, and I think probably the most important thing I can say to that is we very much thank our families, our friends, our volunteers, our staff. North Carolina supporters were some of the greatest, most humbling. It was one of the greatest and most humbling experiences that I've ever been through. But it couldn't happen without the people that was around us. And I'm a firm believer you're only as good as those around you. And so North Carolina proved that to us, and we are eternally grateful.
Well, and I think it's affirming to go out there and, like Seth said, I mean, we traveled. We went from the mountains to the coast. We went to almost every single county in this state. And you sit there and realize that there really are people that want to go out there and make the lives of all the citizens better. We go to these meetings. People take their time out to listen to people like Seth who want to go out there and make a difference and give their perspectives, tell you what their challenges are, and have hope for the future. And it meant a lot to be able to meet those people and hopefully one day bring change and represent them. But we had really great and positive feedback and support from everyone.
Well, we're going to bring change regardless of what we do. So whether or not it's politically or just helping the community we live in, we're going to continue to push for change because I'm a firm believer that our nation and our state needs change, and we owe it to the next generation. And if we have the ability to stand up and make a difference, we're going to do it, whether or not it's on a small scale or a large scale. And one thing that, you know, is kind of also humbling when you look back at this, we jumped in to the number 2 seat, the number 2 elected position in the state of North Carolina with 6 months of experience and did as well as we did. So although we came up short, I don't think there's anybody in the state of North Carolina that would not say that we did an impressive job coming into this with zero political experience.
Right. Yeah. And you know, we took on a big challenge. we knew it was a big challenge when we took it on, but we went head first and we went all in. We truly gave it our all. So when the results came in, yes, it's disappointing, but you can keep your head up by saying, hey, we really gave it a real shot. And that's shown by the support by the voters. And we got over 100,000 people voted for us. We were in the top 5 in the race against people who had been in politics for 20, 30 years. I mean, of any of the new challengers, we were by far had the most support of anyone. But it meant a lot, and there's a lot to move forward with, like Seth said, in any capacity, whether it's local, statewide, nationally. This isn't the end of the road. We're going to continue to push to help the people of North Carolina in the state.
And I need to make a correction, Matt. We were not in the top 5. We were in the top 4.
Well, that's correct.
Matt's selling me short here today, Mike.
I want to, and you're a guy in your community here in Rockingham County. You're a guy that makes a difference, and you make things happen. And I think probably that carried across the state and the people you were able to speak to.
Well, I do try to make a difference, and we fall short sometimes, but at the end of the day, we're community-oriented. We try to stay engaged in the community and try to make it better, and that's just what we do. I was making phone calls this morning. I found out last night the Moorhead High School soccer team, the girls soccer team, doesn't have matching jerseys. I called the coach this morning at 7:30, said, order new jerseys. We're gonna donate the money for that because we believe in our community. We believe in the people in this community, and that's very small scale. But we plan to implement that type of thinking all across this state. And like I said, there's 4 words that you can take away from this, and that's we're not done yet.
Mm-hmm. I want to go back to what you said a minute ago, Matt, because you're looking at some really political heavyweights, Weatherman and some others who've been in politics a long, long time.
Right.
And Seth came up against these and did well.
Right. I mean, Seth was the newcomer in this race.
Yeah.
I mean, he was the young guy who came in with really no experience. Experience, like we said, serving the community, experience in business. But when it came to politics, this was his first run. And you'll see throughout history, I mean, a lot of, in talking about presidents of the United States, lost their first political race. But I think this is an endeavor where, someone who shows passion and shows commitment and is committed to continually pushing and moving forward and continuing with the race sees results, and that's what we're going to do.
Yeah. You mentioned presidents. I'm always fascinated when you look at those stories just of Kennedy and Lincoln and all of the things that they did and lost, and businesses and political campaigns before they got to where they did.
It is interesting. I was looking, one of my favorite presidents in history is Ronald Reagan, and I was looking, I think he lost the presidential election in 1976, and then became one of the greatest conservative presidents in modern era anyway. So you look at President Lincoln, one of the greatest presidents in the history of this country, and he lost multiple races on multiple different levels. I can't even remember everything.
Mm-hmm. Dozens.
Right. Yeah. I mean, he but once he was successful, he implemented more change in this country than probably any other president of the modern, in history.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I mean, I think it's an adage for life. I don't think anyone achieves great success without some type of failure. But it's how you move forward and you deal with it. And like I said, we are committed to moving forward and being part of the community, locally and at large, and seeing what's out there for us. This isn't the end of the road. This was a great beginning. Like I said, disappointed, but we are going to move forward.
One of the greatest men I've ever met from a business standpoint, Homer Wright, who's right here from Eden, North Carolina. He told me one time, and I've kept this. This is early in my career. I had a bad business deal and was complaining to Homer, and he told me, if you're not losing deals, if you're not losing some of the things that you're trying to do, you're not trying hard enough. You're not taking enough chances. And so we took a big chance. We took a small loss, but the people and the information, education that we've gotten, we're just going to move forward with that and keep pushing forward.
Well, and I can say it, but Seth maybe can't. He's too humble. But the feedback we've gotten from the political community after the election has been pretty incredible. I mean, it's obviously motivated us, but we've had winning candidates, people from the political sphere, on all different sides have reached out and said how great Seth did, and that there's no way this should ever be the end of the line for him. Mm-hmm. We've gotten incredible feedback and positive motivation for the future, and that's meant a lot as well.
Yeah, that's got to make you kind of really boost your morale, I guess, so to speak.
It does, and we're just going to wait until November, see how the general election plays out, and then make a decision what we're going to do. And we've had, a week and a half since the election, since the primary, and I can't tell you the number of political strategists, consultants, either other candidates that have called, winning candidates, and said, hey, we'd like to see and be part of you doing something in the future. But, I'll tell everybody, like I've told them, we're not looking for a seat to run for simply for doing it. It has to be the right position for the right reason. And if we believe we can effectuate change, we'll certainly take a very serious look and then try to move forward there.
Right. And I think before we talk about, just want to say one more time before we talk about the business, how grateful we are to everyone who supported. I mean, there was incredible support, especially in Rockingham County, but all throughout the state. We had people, over in the coast, over in the mountains, who were out at the polls for us, who were spreading the word, and it meant a lot. It was really blessed assurance that the hard work we put in for 6 months meant something, and we'll always be grateful for that.
Yeah, I mean, you can believe in yourself as much as you want, but you need the people to believe in you as well. And we proved firsthand that a large part of the population believes in us, and gained that belief, quite frankly, in a very short period of time, because we were not statewide known. We were known locally, but outside of Rockingham County really had no name recognition. So to be able to have all of the counties that we did covered with volunteers from Brunswick County, Pitt County, Dare County, Bladen County, Columbus County, Guilford County, I don't even know. I could go on.
Union,
Iredell,
all
Gaston.
over.
Well, I tell you, 6 or 7 months ago, the name Seth Woodall probably wasn't that well known outside of our immediate area here.
That's correct.
But it is now.
It is. So we got some momentum, Mike.
Yeah,
and we're going to use it.
All right. And I still like your 4 words, "We're not done yet." That should be on a shirt. That's a campaign thing there, right there. Let's talk about the practice. Yep.
Yeah.
Back up at the law office and everything running well.
Yeah. So, we never shut down. We continued to operate full steam ahead all through the candidacy. It was tough. It was a lot of long days, but, we've got a great staff. We've got offices in Eden, one in Madison, and really have a great support staff, have some great attorneys. And so we're back at that, trying to readjust, catch up on some stuff. And we're going to move forward and continue to represent the people of this county and surrounding counties.
Now, you mentioned maybe kind of taking a close look at what comes down in November and not really looking at jumping in anything, but just kind of seeing what's out there and what fits what you can do to make a difference. That's
exactly right. We're not, we don't need a job. And I say that just to say, we're very satisfied continuing to practice law. Matt's an attorney in my practice. That's really how he became my campaign manager. When I was looking for a campaign manager, right. You got to have somebody that your personality meshes with. And we've got some similarities, and I knew he was going to have some long days, and I would rather travel the state with him than somebody I didn't know. Mm-hmm. So by proxy, Matt just got pushed into that position and did a fantastic job. I really can't thank him enough for what he's done. He may get a better Christmas present this year. I'm not sure.
We'll see. Ooh. No, I mean, I absolutely loved it, and the opportunity was incredible. So I thank Seth for believing in me and allowing me to go out there with him. Like he said, it is long days. I mean, you are in the car sometimes 12, 14 hours going from one place to the next. So you got to enjoy being with the person. So yeah, it was an incredible opportunity, but yeah, we're grateful, like he said, for everyone in the offices back, all of the staff, all of the attorneys. They really picked up the slack and they did an incredible job and were supportive of both the campaign, giving us ideas and taking care of everything at the office.
Yeah. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Seth.
Yeah, no, thank you, Mike. We enjoy being here. We'll be back next month, and just continue to watch for what we do next.
Okay, sounds great.
Talk to you soon, Mike.
All right, Matt Warman and Seth Woodall. Seth Woodall and Associates, the law office in Eden and Madison. And again, thanks for your support.